Yes, y'all. Welcome into episode 113 of the Dumb Marks podcast. It's your boys, your favorite Saturday brunch bunch. Back at it again. We typically are the best four-man booth in the business, but one of us not showing up for work today because of the work he put in. Donald was kind enough to grace us with 5 hours of sleep since Thursday out there grinding in the retail world. So shout out to you. I see. Did you fall asleep with your triple fat goose jacket on last night? Is that like?
Oh no! This is because I didn't. I mean, this is because I didn't want to get dressed. I didn't want to get dressed. So what's the closest thing I found? Hey, this was on the floor. Let's throw it on.
The closest thing.
Damn, hostility already, Ty. Jesus.
Yeah, Jason's not even
okay.
Yeah, Jason's not even on the show. Fucking jag off. How about that?
Chose violence already.
Yeah, we match that tenor and tone if you want. We're trying to have a good show today. Coming off a food coma, still some leftovers in the fridge. Like Chris is drinking some type of naked juice smoothie, trying to get slim after eating 10 pounds of turkey. Like,
right.
Clear
everything out.
Flush. Yeah. Hey, everybody have a good Thanksgiving with the family, friends, whatever you guys chose to do. Hope everybody enjoyed your time. We tweeted out there, grateful for everybody that rocks with us each and every single week. We appreciate you guys more than you know. We love coming on here, chopping up with Jen's comments, hostility, love, whatever Taekwon chooses to do on a Saturday morning. But no, we appreciate you. It's little over 2 years into this. Again, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Whatever you gotta do.
Sometimes it's like that. My son was the same way. He chose not to interact this year and just kept it in his room. But it is what it is. There was a little bit of a party foul, but I don't blame my wife. I blame my mother-in-law because she put too many damn yams in the pan, and when my wife reheating it up. Pulled the pan out and the pan buckled, so we lost all the yams.
Yeah, that's a foul.
Some fallen soldiers that day.
Yeah.
Got to pour our little liquor for the yams.
Yeah, can't you lose the yams.
Where's the cognac?
It's one of the main sides. Yeah, I thought about it. Whenever I said grace, I did a little. I asked God to bless my wife's hands next year so she doesn't drop the yams.
We shouldn't drop the turkey.
Well, I would have rather dropped the turkey. The yams, that's a clutch side dish.
That's the main ingredient for you, the yams, huh?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the turkey was amazing. We had turkey ham. We had like 16 people here. So. Full house.
A lot of people.
So it was like Ralphie in A Christmas Story whenever the bolts go flying and it's that's how she was in the kitchen. But yeah, like I said, I blame my mother-in-law because she filled the pan up too much, and you gotta double that up. Can't just single pan that whenever it's that heavy. It's buckled.
If it's that aluminum pan, those things are flimsy. So
yeah, it is what it is. It didn't stop us from having a good time and sharing food and stories, laughing. So that's always good.
So you got a story now, so that's
right.
What comes out of it.
Right. Watched Frosty last night with my daughter. Even though the Florida State game was on, I had to pull dad duties. She's 12, so I don't know how many more years I'm gonna get at this where she wants to actually watch the Christmas stuff, but well, we'll see when she comes back. I mean, she may still have brittle bone syndrome. We don't know. But watched Frosty last night. Got some decorations all up. So good productive long weekend here. Big Saturday.
Working, so it's like
right.
Yeah,
right. Rivalry weekend. I feel like the Black Friday sales is Donald's biggest rival. Working in the retail space, it kind of comes with the territory.
Black Friday's not that bad. Christmas is my main rival. Earlier and earlier every year, boy.
Yeah.
Earlier and earlier.
Well, your store started at what in July this year, so
we had stuff in the end of September. Yeah, this year.
Capitalism at its best. Gotta love it.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
Mhm.
So, all right, what do we got to kick off the intro this week? Donald, I saw there was some PlayStation Legacy questions floating out there. What's that all about?
The PlayStation is going to continue its legacy. Sony filed for trademarks for the PS6, PS7, PS8, PS9, and the PS10. So,
jeez,
if you project like what the PS5 costs now, what do you think the PS10 is going to cost?
Probably a kidney and your second born.
Double, triple. I mean, an iPhone's up to $1,400. Like PS5 is gonna be like over $2,000 at some point, right? PS10, like over $2,000. Like
probably PS10 will be a microchip in your head. You just close your eyes and play games. You know, or get plugged in like the Matrix.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be. They're gonna be like Xbox. They're just gonna go into the computer game. That's all it's gonna be. It's just a straight computer.
Yeah. Eventually, it will be. So people saying
to them, but
there's people saying now, we're gonna trademark PS11 then, and Sony's gonna have to pay up.
I was just about to say they only go up to 10. It's like someone needs to jump on that.
And then other gaming news that I had was EA Sports VP and GM Mike Rosenstein said that the college football game is being delayed a year, so it will come out July 2024 now. And he said that they just want to make it a true college football game. They don't want it to be a ripoff of Madden and just stick college teams on there. But the underlying rumor coming from it is saying that they don't know how to pay the players. So they need more time to really understand the NIL stuff because there's no union for the players. You got to deal with each player individually. So they're trying to figure that out. So that's probably what the delay is actually for.
Yeah, I mean, you get some of these top tier players like your CJ Strouds and Bryce Youngs. They'll be out there like Jordan used to be on NBA 2K back in the day. A Bulls jersey with the number 99, and everybody knew that was Jordan. You're gonna get some of these players where you're gonna have number 2 running around for Ohio State, and everybody knows that CJ Stroud.
Yeah, actually, on Triple Play Baseball, Barry Bonds did that too for a while. When he started getting big, he took his name off of it, and his name was like Trent Brock or something, who played left field.
I don't know what the solution is with that, because that to me is going to be the biggest piece of the pie for NIL, just based on the revenue that game is going to generate, especially the first year it comes back out, because it's been gone so long. There's going to be a lot of hands in that cookie jar trying to get as much money as possible. So I hope it gets resolved quickly, because as a fan of college football, like I want that game yesterday. Like I need that back. I need that back in my life. Like that was
the football game for me. Yeah, the football game. That was a lot better than Madden in my eyes. A lot better.
Yeah,
most anticipated at least.
Yeah, so it was. Whenever they broke the news that it was coming back, everybody got super hyped, and now you're pushing it out a year. Going to drive up the anticipation a little bit more, but if you keep pushing it back another year, then you're going to start getting people getting frustrated.
Yes, people going to get mad.
Yeah, so there's that hard between a rock and a hard place there for them. But hey, figure it out. You're adults. Figure it out. Pay the players. Give them their royalties for being in the game. I don't know how Madden does it with the pros. I don't know if they get some type of kickback or what. I'm assuming they do, but base it off of that model and tweak it for the college setting and go from there.
Yep. Just hurry up and come on, please.
Anything else gaming wise that we got to discuss? No. Entertainment wise, not a whole lot going on. I didn't really see anything too much. I mean, we had the passing of Jason David Frank, best well known for his role in Power Rangers. Sad situation. battled a lot of demons, so on and so forth, and unfortunately, took his life this past week. So, prayers to him and his family. Not much more you can say about it. Just know there's somebody's always out there for you. If you need somebody, pick up the phone, call, text, something. I saw a video circulating around to him about like around half an hour before. I think he did like his first Facebook Live post or something like that. So it was just like kind of heart-wrenching to see. You never really know what's going on, especially with people that come across like they're okay when they may not be. We're a big mental health show here. We've talked about it before in the past. So please, anybody out there, even if I don't know you from Sam next door, there's always somebody out there for you. So check in on your people, let them know you're there for them, drop them a line, especially around this time of year. Holidays for as exciting and as happy as they can be. A lot of people are dealing with stuff. So
produces a lot of anxiety for people.
Yeah, try to keep everybody up as much as possible. So, all right. With that being said, if we don't got nothing else, let's get into this very fun-filled, a lot going on week in Bell to Bell. All right. Hot and heavy today. Survivor Series, WarGames, Nerf Wars, although it might have picked up a little bit. We'll get into that in a minute here. We'll break down the card, run through the week that was between Raw and SmackDown, touch on all that, give our predictions, match of the night, etc. there. But let's kick it off with the other cross promotion there, the other rival, AEW. Full Gear Fallout, Dynamite Fallout, Rampage. What were your initial thoughts on the week that was from AEW overall?
Before we get into that, I just was going through stuff on the back end here, and I realized we can add Jason to the show today. Keep him up in the corner.
There he is, live in spirit on the beach.
Yeah, there we go.
That picture will never get old.
Yeah.
That might be my Christmas Day card. Merry Christmas from the Dumb
The hate is real.
Hey, the people have spoken. We got to listen to the people. Pull them down. But overall, Dynamite, Full Gear, Rampage, just your quick, sentence or two on how you felt AEW handled the pay-per-view, the fallout, and kind of what your initial vibes are on as we sit here today after the week that was.
I still didn't finish the pay-per-view yet. I kind of watched the ending of like the last 3 matches on Saturday, and then I've gone back and watched some other ones. So there's still a few that I need to go back and watch. From what I watched, the pay-per-view wasn't bad. Still don't like the ending to the main event. And they really didn't even. I mean, you kind of got a little bit of it on Wednesday, but I'll wait and see how they play off this week whenever MJF actually returns.
So, before we get into that and whether or not that was the right or wrong call, what about the ending to the main event didn't you like? Tony Khan listens to the show. He took my booking for the main event and 100%. Put it out there for the masses. 100%. If you listen to the prediction show last week during this segment, I literally said verbatim what was going to happen. And sure enough, pat myself on the back, Barry Horowitz. It came to fruition. I spoke it into existence. Just give me the pencil and I'll book AEW from now on.
Well, Tony Khan worry about the Jaguars.
What was there not to like about that?
You don't need to put William Regal with MJF at all. Like, MJF is fine on his own. There's one thing that MJF does well in wrestling, and that is talk on the mic. You don't need to give him a manager. So we'll see if that's actually how it plays out, because, I mean, he's with the BCC, and all those guys can use help on the mic. That's where you need William Regal. And to be the mouthpiece for them. And to me, it's just pairing them together and separating him from that just And Dave, that's a good point because we'll see what MJF says this week. Regal didn't want to go on with that, but just the way that they were kind of playing off of Full Gear and this week, it just seems like that's where they're heading.
Yeah, from what I read, because of course I didn't watch anything, but just read all the results. I'm okay with Regal going back to the BCC, be like, I did that on purpose for you guys to get your edge back, because it looked like you guys were losing your edge, losing everything and all that.
Hey, at the end of the day, though, they took the title off Mox, and I was happy at least with that.
I mean, it was the right call, of course. Yeah. Get the young talent over.
Anybody watching going in that's followed it, I think MJF winning was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
Yes.
This last title run for Mox wasn't even supposed to be a title run for Mox. So he stepped up and took over when the ball was dropped by that other guy from Chicago that won't be named. So you knew MJF time was now. It was just how were you going to get there to make it compelling to fit MJF. And I think the story that they told leading up to the pay-per-view and then with the finish fits the narrative of MJF. He told you he was going to win. He told you he was going to win clean. He wasn't the one that brought the illegal object into the ring. He had the dynamite ring. He took it off, threw it down. When the opportunity presents itself and somebody else is lending you a hand, sometimes you got to take that hand. It is what it is. Jason's sleeping right now. He's going to show up to work. Donald's trucking through the no sleep, so we appreciate him more. We'll give him a pay raise once we get sponsors for this show. Jason will, still be at minimum wage. It is what it is. Sucks to be him, but yeah, I mean, to me, the story fit.
Oh, look who showed up!
You should have just stayed off.
He was watching the show. Heard Taquan was talking shit and was like, you know what?
You're leaving comments for yourself. This man's his own hype man.
Now you good. You gotta hype yourself up. Is that the Betty White Power Ranger T-shirt on?
Only way White Ranger get some love around here.
Well, we gave him his flowers.
I know y'all did. I mean, from me.
Oh, from you, okay. Why you like everything else white? Why doesn't the White Ranger get love from you? What are we doing here?
I just woke up and
too early.
But you didn't see the first comment from Ty because he came on with straight violence. But yeah, I'm glad to see you're rocking the throwback Mia Yam name. I don't know if you caught the Yam party foul that was done at my house for Thanksgiving, but it is what it is. But Full Gear, MJF fit the story, fit the narrative. I don't think let me back up. Let me say this: having him not on the show Wednesday night was a huge swing and miss.
Yes.
I think it hurt your fallout. It hurt your carryover. It hurts your momentum that you got with crowning MJF. I don't know why they did it. I'm assuming there were other obligations, whatever, something maybe with filming that movie or whatever the case may be. But having him skip a week and just have Regal go out there and talk but not really give any answers kind of halted anything that you were going to do from that standpoint.
Because your ratings increased for the show after. And it's like, I don't think they're going to carry over for another week. People that they already saw what the fallout from Full Gear was are not going to tune in again.
And I mean, I tweeted that out after the show went off the air. I'm like, I can't wait for Wednesday night to hear this promo. And then Wednesday night comes and I don't get a promo.
He did say, so in the post conference afterwards, he did say he was going to film the movie. So they were upfront with that he wasn't going to be there Wednesday night, but
yeah, I didn't tune in for the press conference. I just saw the clips where he said, thank you, fuck you, bye, which is a great
He was out there for 2 minutes. That was it.
Yeah, great tagline. So, yeah. But, I mean, hey, we're in the MJF era now. So, let's see where it goes. Let's see what happens with it. Obviously, we get his first challenger crown this week in Ricky Starks. Not sure how I feel
Winter's
about
coming this week.
Starks. No, not this week, but he's going to challenge for him at Winter is Coming in December. I don't know. Ricky's the main event guy in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like him being the first one to challenge MJF.
Yeah,
that Lance role.
I agree.
You're not going to get you're not getting a title change. So why have Ricky step up to the plate and lose?
Mm-hmm. And can you imagine the feud between them, the back and forth on the mic?
Be tremendous. Like don't hot shot it. Like why?
Yeah.
Don't rush it. Give me. You run Lance Archer out there for every other champion. Why not trudge his big ass out there, or somebody else? Because Starks and MJF are
Brian Cage ain't doing anything else either. Throw him out there, losing to everybody else.
Yeah, and if you're gonna sell the injuries, Ricky came out all taped up, and commentary's putting over how banged up your ribs are and everything else. Don't have the tape job stop at your nipples. Like, let's carry that down and have it actually wrap around your ribs. You got a halter top tape job done. Like, we don't need crop top tape. Okay, let's tape up what actually hurts.
That's
That's
in Ricky Stark fashion.
Yeah. Other than that, like, I didn't think they capitalized on anything on Wednesday night. Was it a reset? Yeah, I guess, but it just felt more of them just kind of coasting along instead of like hitting the gas coming out of the pay-per-view. I thought Rampage was the better show again. That's 3 weeks in a row. I like Rampage more than I like Dynamite.
I did watch Rampage this week. Not on purpose, more on accident, but
apparently Dante Martin's okay. Was scared there, but Bowens tweeted out that he's okay. So
that pick was good.
We're good on that front. That tweet was tremendous. If you haven't seen it, go to Anthony Bowens' Twitter account and look at the picture he put up of the Acclaimed and Top Flight. It's tremendous. Tweet of the week for me. Was that tweet there?
And they're all darker than me.
But yeah, I mean, Full Gear was good. I enjoyed it. Would I say it's like their best pay-per-view ever? No. Rampage was on at 4. I didn't watch it live. I watched the DVR.
They did say that on Dynamite this week, but
yeah. I'm glad you brought this up because I absolutely hate this.
Are you feeding Cam lines again?
No. He's coming here with his own thing. I haven't talked to him since Thanksgiving morning.
The burner account.
First off, you just
we'll get into that, Kenny.
Yeah, Rampage was very good match wise and story wise. So I like if you want to watch the hour, go back and watch it if you can because it was a solid show top to bottom.
The continuation of Dark Order not being anything continues. And
I think the opposite, but we'll touch on that in a second. So the best of 7, you had the trios match. We all knew it was going to be a good match. Those 6 guys don't miss. You get the Hammer brought into it again for the Shady victory. Champs retain, and then all of a sudden we get this announcement: oh, yeah, best of 7. It's like, well, why are we doing a best of 7?
No.
And they didn't even clarify it on Wednesday night why we were doing a best of 7. I guess I'm just to assume that because a foreign object was used and it wasn't a clean victory, that we're going to give the EVPs a best of 7 to win the titles back. So the Lucha Bros and Death Triangle with Pac seemed like a legit thing again. I don't know. Maybe that's the reasoning, but I don't like it.
A faulty finish on Wednesday too.
Yeah, so you're up 2-0. If they make if they make the Elite like the 04 Red Sox come back from 3-0, I'm gonna be livid.
It's coming
because that's more of a disservice to that triangle than having them lose at the pay-per-view.
They're coming out in Red Sox gear too.
It's coming because whenever I saw like the graphic of when they were fighting, and that's the seventh match is in LA. I don't know who's from California who's on that team.
I wasn't paying attention to that.
There you go.
And then you have Death Triangle win twice without, so they can't beat them without doing something. Like that to me makes it sketchy. You know, like how this is going to go on. I have a feeling the seventh is just going to be a ladder match, and that'll be it.
There's not a whole lot of best of sevens in wrestling that have worked. Like if you go back through the history of wrestling and you look at best of sevens, like there may be one or two that I think actually worked. Sheamus and Cesaro worked.
Yeah, I like that.
And then wasn't it Booker T and Benoit had a best of seven?
Yeah, I was trying to think of who it was on SmackDown around that time.
And I think that worked. But other than that, best of sevens don't really work. Like
it's not something you can overuse ever.
Didn't Matt Hardy and MVP have like a gimmicky best of seven?
Yeah, like they shot horse and stuff like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Something dumb.
I get that Death Triangle wasn't supposed to be the champs. Doing this, I guess, extends their run to where it seems like a legit run. But if you're going to have them pulling all these dusty finishes to get victories, then and have them ultimately lose in 7, what did you accomplish by doing a best of 7? Like, I could legit buy into a best of 7 between these two teams because how evenly matched they are and because of the 6 men involved in it. But right off the bat, I'm like, okay, this is not hitting the way that it should. And because it was pulled out of thin air.
Yeah.
Like, it was just announced. Okay. There was nothing leading up to it to make it seem like you needed a best of 7.
Yeah. Nothing to justify it.
No.
I forgot all about the last one.
And then, like you said, like you said last week, there's nobody but the House of Black to build from this.
Yeah, the trios.
Nobody else is going to be like a legit contender except for House of Black. So you got.
I think Rampage helped stir that pot yesterday with the trios because you had Preston Vance 10, you had him turn on Dark Order, join Roosh and Los Ingobernables. I pronounced that wrong. I don't have any, can't roll it correctly. But I know if Toe was on the show, he'd be killing me right now. But yeah, I mean, you have that. You have legit Dark Order as a trio now. You got Uno, Silver, and Reynolds.
The last remaining.
They can feud with Roosh and Vance and them to get them, but you have them that you can establish them as a legit trios. You could do the Los Ingobernables thing with Roosh and Vance and either the Blade or Butcher or however you want to pair those men up. You still got best friends out there. House of Black, Death Triangle, the Elite. So, I mean, you got some teams that you can do something with if you put time and effort into the division. Hopefully now they'll actually start that ball rolling and get a plan out there and you actually see like the formation of a trios division.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, silence. All right, you guys don't care about trios. That's cool.
I agree with you.
Chris, why didn't you like the Dark Order stuff yesterday?
To me, it's just they keep shitting on the Dark Order. Like I get what you're saying with the division, they could make a trios out of it, but why should I care about the Dark Order anymore?
Well, they're at their lowest of lows, so this is when you start to build.
How many
back
times
up.
have they done that though? Like, why should I care about the Dark Order again?
And are they a viable threat? Legit?
No.
To me, no. They're just like enhancement talent.
Yeah. To me, especially this year, they had a nice little run there for a bit. They had a good year or so where people cared about them, wanted to see what they were doing. They won a lot of matches. And it's just much like most things in AEW. Once you hit your high and you get taken, they didn't lose a title, so there wasn't really anything there. But like once Tony Khan's done with that storyline, they just get pushed to the backside.
Speaking of hitting your high and then be done with it, Wardlow loses the TNT title.
That was weird.
Come in, cuts a little promo Wednesday night, but I don't know what you do with him from here. I don't know, Joe. I don't know if that was the right call, but we'll see. Having Joe as a double champ.
Yeah, I don't think it was the right call at all.
Ring of Honor coming up.
No.
It's good to build towards him and MJF, but like the way they booked him so far, it's like, do you even care right now?
I mean,
That's
they had
why
him
I
win the
said that's
TNT
on
title,
this,
and you didn't even care. It's like they didn't do anything with him as champion.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be one thing if it was the normal. Okay, he's champion, he loses the title, and then gets pushed aside. But they pushed him aside as a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Tony Khan came out this week, and I don't know. I don't remember who it was that asked him, but somebody asked him the question. Can't remember if it was on Busted Open or if it was on like a press conference before the pay-per-view. But they asked him about people not being on TV regularly and, large gaps in time between matches and everything else. And like he kind of said, well, I said from the beginning that you were going to see people here and there weren't going to be the same people on the show every single week. It was going to be, we're going to use you for your story, like you said, Chris. And then once that's done, we're going to move on and do something else. So you may not see, like, you didn't see FTR wrestle on Dynamite from May until, and they were on Rampage this week. So they still weren't wrestling on Dynamite, You saw it with
Jericho can get 3 segments in the show.
I mean, I understand you gotta have you gotta have your horses and you gotta have your your main 6 and build off of that. But the fact that certain people, and I know injuries play a part and other things outside, like Miro, he did some TV stuff and everything else, but he's been off TV forever.
Yeah.
Kip Sabian, you brought him back.
Yeah, and did nothing.
And he was super hot just from wearing a bag over his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he's more Penelope's Valley now than a wrestler.
Yeah, like, I mean, you could run down the list with that. It just, I don't understand why that is what he considers to be the best booking choice.
I don't need people on every week. Like, you don't have to give me Wardlow every week squashing somebody. But if Wardlow is your TNT champion and someone that you're trying to promote as being one of the guys in the company, you need to do a little bit better job with him. Like, there's no reason that he's not every other week or doing something, on TV. Like I don't know, they just dropped the ball with a lot of things.
It was okay in the beginning because they did that when they first started. You didn't see everybody, but they weren't off of TV that long.
No,
they might have been gone for a week and then came back, the week after, or every other week. And everybody's storylines were like tightly woven too.
It's like back in the day whenever I actually like watched like Days of Our Lives. Every character wasn't on every day, in a soap opera. Like you can do that. Like you can skip, every couple days have a different character. Like every week, this week have somebody, next week somebody different, then come back the following week and resurface some stuff. But you're going to have certain characters be on every week just to continue these storylines, especially like an MJF, who is the guy. He should be on every week, or at least one small segment.
I was listening to Jeff Jarrett, My World's podcast with him and Conrad, the latest episode before Full Gear, and they were talking about NWA and Billy's comments, how we touched on that last week with if you don't like the product, don't watch type deal. And Conrad broke down, and I think this was really good because we've been complaining about AEW and this whole DraftKings fantasy wrestler booking where you're just putting matches together and no real true storylines and everything else. And Conrad brought up the point that if AEW is the alternative to WWE, and WWE is more story-based driven, and your fan base knows that, and your fan base just comes to watch the matches, then why deviate from that? Why not lean into it? And he said Tony's done that. He's leaned into giving his fans matches that they want to see just for matches. And if that's going to be the alternative and that's going to be how you are, then okay, fine. And I listen to that and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, if that's how you're going to present it and run with it. But at some point, this is pro wrestling. You got to have story at some point. Like, eventually you run against the wall where you don't have any matches left. Like, do I want to see Dax and Danielson this week on Wednesday? Absolutely. But after Wednesday, then it's like, all right, you had that match. Like, how many of these matchups are we going to get where everything's checked off to where it's like, I don't want to see it, even though it's going to be a good match.
And that wasn't how AEW was started. You know, it'd be one thing if this was day one that we're talking about, and we're like, okay, 3 years later, we just don't care about, we don't like it anymore. That wasn't the way the company was started, as being story based and giving you long-term stories at the beginning. So just because the booker changed, you know, sometimes that was a big downfall in WCW back in the day. The booker changed a lot, and you know, people didn't like the way the booking decisions went, and they turned it off. That could be the thing here in AEW too. That could be why ratings aren't growing.
So that's a good point, Dave. But to tie into what Chris is saying, like, yeah, they were presented as a sport from the get-go, right? Yeah. You had wins and losses matter. We were taking those into account. Like, you had rankings for a reason. All that has gone away. Mm-hmm. So now you're literally just getting matchups for matchups. Which, okay, that's fine. Like, do I want to see Ishii versus Jericho? Yeah, I saw it. Great. But at some point, you run out of the matchups to just have matchups.
And sometimes you got to give me a reason.
You do. Like,
and this is coming from Jason.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to give me a reason.
Yeah.
So, like, after hearing that comment, I watched Dynamite a little bit differently this week. Because before, I'm just coming in recently and I've been like, yo, where's your story? There's no build to this. You're just booking to book. You're putting on matchups. And then I was like, all right, well, let me step back and change my lens. Because maybe I'm expecting something different from AEW than what they are actually presenting based off of that explanation from Conrad. So I watched the show and I'm like, okay, this makes complete sense watching it through that lens Wednesday night. If you're watching it through that lens, great. It was a good show top to bottom.
And that's the reason I enjoyed both shows. The wrestling was good. But I didn't care anything about any of the storylines.
That's the way I felt the past couple of weeks. I felt like Dynamite's been good, like watching it.
Yeah.
You know, there's been some good segments, some good matches. But after I watch it, I don't feel like I care about AEW at the same token.
Give you something to keep you invested.
Yeah, like I don't like. It's not like I'm watching this episode and going like, man, I can't wait for next week. Like, no, it's just you watch that episode and it's just like, okay, that was a good episode. And I'm not looking forward to the following week at all. I'm not looking forward to even watching Rampage.
I wish they would take some of the story bits that they've been telling on Rampage the last 3 weeks and not take those stories and apply them on Dynamite, but take the concept and apply it to Dynamite. Mm-hmm. Like they've been really good the last 3 weeks on Rampage of hitting story and wrestling. And that's why I've said it's been the best show the last 3 weeks running for me is because they've touched on both. You can get back to that on Dynamite and give me both. It doesn't have to be overtly story-based driven, and it doesn't have to be overtly match-based driven. There's that healthy medium and happy medium between the two, and they just need to get back to it on Dynamite, which I think is that missing piece from me going, yo, Dynamite was crazy this week, blah, 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 blah. It's more like, yo, that match was crazy this week. So it shouldn't constantly be just the match.
Yeah.
You need that other layer added into it.
Because if you don't have a story, like the story is what continues it and brings you in each week. You know, and makes you be like, okay, what are they going to do next with this story? If you just have that match, yeah, you can have a bunch of match of the year candidates out of it, but you're going to forget that match pretty quickly. And that's going to make you forget that episode pretty quickly.
And then there's no build. It's just a match.
They had it in the beginning of the year. They had it in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
They just went off plan.
And if you sit there and you do this enough that, okay, yeah, I'm going to tune in and I'm going to watch and I'm going to enjoy Dynamite. But if there's nothing to like hook you each week, it's going to get to a point where like, and I've done this where, okay, if I watch it live, cool. If I watch it on DVR, cool. There's no reason that you need to watch it live.
Or make you pay $50 to watch the pay-per-view.
Or make you pay $50 because I wasn't going to do that.
Unless there's some crazy matchup that I've never seen before that is really driving me to watch it, like you got to have both for me to put out $50 whenever I can hop on Peacock later tonight and watch Survivor Series, regardless of the matches or stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's there, it's available. So, I mean, we'll see where we go from here. We have the MJF era. You know, he'll be back Wednesday night. They already announced Dax and Danielson for Wednesday night. I don't know the rest of the card at this point, but those two things got me. Those two things alone got me ready. Got me wanting to watch on Wednesday. So, yeah, I mean that $50 nowadays.
I was wondering where you were going with that at first.
Peacock. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see where we go from here. We got Dynamite. We're going to have Ring of Honor. So I'm assuming Wednesday night is going to be kind of Ring of Honor heavy. It's going to have to be to start promoting that pay-per-view on the 10th. Mm-hmm. It's 2 weeks away.
I was about to say, who's champ? Completely forgot.
One of the Trinity, man.
Yeah.
I mean, on Rampage, they did at least cover that a little bit of Ring of Honor. They had a segment with Jericho and Claudio. You know, so Claudio's getting another shot.
Then you had Athena call out Mercedes.
Yeah,
Athena's been really good. Her heel turn has been great. I wish more of it would have been on Dynamite instead of Dark and Elevation.
Yeah, no, didn't know she turned.
Like,
but for a while, I mean, Rampage has kind of been the ROH alternative show. Like that's where they built a lot of the stuff on was more Rampage than Dynamite.
Well, who said that?
Which is fine whenever you don't have a TV deal. Like, yeah. I get that. But then that goes back to the point, well, what are you doing on Wednesday night then if you're going to make Friday more ROH-centric?
I missed the first 15 minutes, I do believe, of Dynamite. Did Hater get anything other than just that weak-ass entrance?
No, that was it.
So nobody's had like a coronation since
the opening was Regal. Regal and Mox had a segment, and then they pretty much went right into Renee coming out and announcing about Thunder Rosa.
It just feels like the Women's Championship has just been like just another belt on the show.
Yeah.
So they teased the whole Britt Jamie thing again Wednesday night, and I'm okay with it if that's where you're going to go, but don't hotshot it.
Yeah.
Or actually, Pot, let me step back. You've been teasing it for a while now.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. If you don't pull the trigger on it at the correct time, people are going to tune out and not even care. Yeah. They were calling for it before when Britt was champ. Then you had, Thunder get it, so you kind of went away from that. And now Jamie has it, and the first thing that's done is Britt stepping in to take over the interview and introduce her. Like, okay.
Even whenever they were walking out, it was like Britt was the focus, and Jamie was kind of pushed to the side a little bit. And I'm sure that was on purpose, and that's cool, but just like...
And Jamie and Tony tore it up. Like, they had a great match on the pay-per-view. So they delivered. I'm not going to shit on Britt and Saraya like some people were. I mean, it's first match in 5 years. I'm not going to ask her to go out there and do suicide dives with a freaking neck injury. You know what I mean? Like, and Saraya in her interview this week, kind of broke character and said, hey, Britt carried me. Like, she's a pro's pro. Like, I was nervous. I was worried. I was rusty on the mic. Like, throughout it all, Britt carried me, and I thought we did good business. So, do I want to see them revisit it down the line? Absolutely, but I'm not going to just completely shit on it like everybody else did just because it wasn't a 7-star Meltzer match.
That's one of the matches I still need to go back and rewatch.
Anything else?
The whole interim thing, it was just like glossed over. You didn't make a deal about that.
And to me, it was like I hated that on Wednesday because it's like, well, if you knew you were going to do this, because I'm sure like it just wasn't done Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you just have the match on Saturday be? This match is for the undisputed AEW Women's Championship.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the whole interim thing, like Tony's come out and said we've used it, but if they're going to be out 6 months or more, then we can't use it. And it's like, just
don't do it.
Just get away with it.
Yeah,
don't do it.
No. You love tournaments, and you do the tournament for an interim champion. Just do a tournament for the champion.
And they can always be the number one contender when they come back.
Yep.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because wins and losses don't matter anymore.
Anything else catch your eye from either the pay-per-view Wednesday night or Friday night? No,
I don't think.
What about the wrestling pettiness? I'm here for wrestling pettiness. I love wrestling pettiness. Apparently, CM Punk's camp wasn't happy with what was done in the trios match. The Bucks and Kenny have come out and kind of said, hey, we were feeding off the crowd.
I was coming for it, Jason.
They said we didn't plan spots. We were feeding off the crowd and leaning into it. They were in, Chicago.
I don't care. I didn't care about it. But here's the only thing that I thought. You're going to sit there earlier in the day and do an article with Sports Illustrated talking about how people need to move on from it, and then you do that shit on TV. That's the only thing that I had.
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah, Kenny said, LOL, I loved it. Look.
I didn't care about it, but if you're telling people to move on, you got to move on too.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, and this just sums up wrestling fans in general, right? They come out, they get booed out the building. They
were trying to show the people that cheered them. The camera was trying to show the cheering, but all you heard was the boos.
They're getting booed. They're getting the FU, fuck the elite. Like, they're getting all that, right? Then they do all these troll jobs during the match. But then you're getting this is awesome chants, and the people are standing up clapping. Like, what are you doing? Like, you can't be that fickle, to steal a word from Brian Danielson. You can't be that fickle to where in match you change. And I tweeted out, hey, Punk shouldn't be mad at the elite for the troll job. He should be mad at his city for not standing up for him and flip-flopping sides the way that they did. No. It was the most Benedict Arnold fan turn I've seen in a long time.
But then they get the opposite reaction in Full Gear.
Where's Dave at? Dave, you were one of those guys. Fuck the elite. You were standing up giving it 5 stars in your house on Wednesday night.
Throwing roses.
Yeah.
Encore. Give me a best of 7.
Like I said from the beginning, it's all work.
I saw a lot of that too afterwards. You're not going to do all these troll jobs if he's not coming back.
Exactly. Exactly. If they're still listening to him in the back. If they're still listening to him from afar, it's all work.
Real quick before we jump into Survivor Series predictions and breakdowns. Impact Wrestling. Bully Ray. Still one of the best heels in the business. Hands down. Doesn't matter his age, what company he's in. The man gets heat like nobody else can. They told this beautiful story of him being on the up and up and was going to do things right, and he wasn't going to take the cheap shot, and he was going to challenge Josh Alexander face-to-face, man-to-man, call him out. He told him he would see him coming. He wasn't going to sneak attack him, none of that. After Kaz and Alexander had a tremendous match, it was like 30, 35 minutes. They went bell for bell. Kaz needs more respect put on his name. Okay. I don't care how old Frankie Kazarian is. The man can still go. If you haven't watched that match, go back, find it on the internet, watch Kaz versus Josh Alexander. The beauty of it, afterwards, Bully's out there. Both men get their flowers. Kaz rolls out. Bully steps up, calls his shot, and then snap right back into that dastardly heel. Pummels Alexander on the outside, hitting him with chair shots, drags his wife over the guardrail, rips up the mat, picks her up in a suplex pile driver position, telling Alexander this, that, and the other. Like, it was just so well done. And he's back to being the most hated man in Impact Wrestling off of a 7-minute segment. It was tremendous. If you're watching this and you want to understand heel 101, that was heel 101. So
Bully knows how to do that. Did it in ECW and has continued it through Impact and TNA back in the day.
Great.
It was just like kudos all the way around. Like, everybody was just on their game, and it was done beautifully. So go watch that if you want to learn how to be a bad guy in pro wrestling, because that was done to a T.
So it looks like Alexander is right now tied for second. Today is 211, and AJ Styles is at 211. So Bobby Roode is at 256. I think Alexander has a very good chance of beating Bobby Roode's record.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not mad at that. Josh has been on a tear ever since Ethan Page left and that tag team went to the wayside. He's been on a tear for the last 2 years.
I thought Alexander was going to be the Jannetty out of that group, and he's.
I put all my chips in his bandwagon the minute Page left. I said, this dude's he's gonna tear it up, and sure enough, he showed up, showed out. Like I said, he's been top 5, top 7 in the world the last 2.5 years. Match wise, title reign wise, not a lot that can hold up their resume amongst his, even if it is an Impact. So kudos to him. And Impact, what they done. And then the other match, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch Jordan Grace and Marsha Slamovich, Last Woman Standing. Tremendous. Those two are a perfect peanut butter and jelly pair. It's like watching Sasha and Bailey wrestle. They just fit. They know what they do. They work so well off of each other. It was a brutal physical match, just like their first one. Fit the storyline between them two. So those are my 2 Impact matches there that I would go check out. If you're not a fan of Impact, they're putting on really good stuff. Like, we talk about it all the time, but it is what it is. I'll hop off my Impact soapbox for right now. All right, so everybody, what we're here for: Survivor Series predictions, breakdown. Before we hop in the card, the one thing that I want to say, just from the Monday Friday aspect. You want to talk about 2 sides of a coin. Monday felt nothing like a go-home show from Raw. Last night felt like the best go-home show they've done in a long time. Like, complete opposites of the spectrum for at least for me watching. So after last night, what was done, I'm excited for Survivor Series tonight. Like, I want to see the show. I want to see the card. But before that, I want to just touch briefly the World Cup tournament. Ricochet beats Strowman. You get him versus Escobar in the finals.
Ooh,
I thought it was well done. I'm glad they pulled the swerve. I know Jason thought it was a foregone conclusion with Strowman winning that, but
Jason had money on DraftKings.
That's going to be a Sheamus match.
So word is that Strowman has major heat on him in the back.
Oh, yeah.
After his flippy flopper comment on Twitter after the match with Almost, him having a egotistical, arrogant attitude, showing up late, leaving early, like, he got heat on him. So maybe this was them knocking him down a peg and saying, hey, remember, we got the pencil. We can erase you as quickly as we write your name in.
Should have bought him back from the beginning.
I agree.
And I've seen a lot of people trying to compare Corbin, where Corbin is actually doing it in character. And Braun Strowman, that's just his beliefs as a whole.
Right. But no, and I'm really looking forward to SmackDown next week for Ricochet versus Escobar.
Yeah, it's gonna
I
be
said
good.
this tournament should have been Santos's coming out party. You know, you can do the Legado versus Imperium. You could run that. We've seen that in NXT. Like, that's tried and true through and through. So that match will definitely slap next week. What are your thoughts on the baby faces having the advantage for WarGames? We're not going to go into the WarGames match yet. I just want to get your thoughts on this from a WarGames perspective in general.
In general,
baby faces having the advantage.
nah, I don't like it.
Yeah, both of them.
No,
I don't know how you tell this. No, Rhea got the advantage for the women.
Okay.
But Sheamus and Drew won last night thanks to Kevin Owens.
Okay.
They planted seeds with Sami Zayn and everything. Like, it was really done well last night. But they gave the advantage to the Brawling Brutes, Drew and KO to have the advantage in the men's WarGames match. It's just hard to have the baby faces on top with an advantage. Like,
you know the outcome.
Story.
Yeah.
You know,
You're telling the story in reverse order.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you bring it. The bloodline will come in last, right? So they'll be the last one. That'll be when the dominance ensues for them to win the match.
I mean, Roman's obviously going to be the last one in. I think Sammy or Jay are going to argue to see who starts.
Nah. You got to keep building Solo.
Oh, you put Solo out there first and have him start?
No, coming last.
Oh, you have him coming last?
Last.
Hey, look, he ain't writing down. He'd be the first one in the ring ready to go with anybody. So either start him or have him come in last and clean up.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the psychology in the match with the baby faces having the advantage, to see what story they tell.
Do you put Sami and Owens, or do you build up for that?
They're going to get their moment. Like, I don't know if I need it to start off the match, although it would make sense for them to start off because
get the crowd up.
Yeah, you get the crowd up, but I don't know if I want to see it in the beginning or at some point whenever everybody else is laid out, them two come face to face, like in the middle of the match.
Yeah. If Sammy doesn't, I kind of think Solo should. But
I want to see Sammy and Jay just argue in the cage for a bit.
I mean, you want to talk about storyline and not having matches? Like, Sami Zayn has been the best there is this year, and hasn't wrestled a whole hell of a lot.
Spoiler alert.
So, all right. With that being said, any other things from Monday or Friday before we break down the card? No. All right, let's hit it. Let's run through this.
All right. We'll kick this off with a title match. We'll do SmackDown Women's Championship, Ronda versus Shotzi.
I didn't care about this match until last night. They actually told a little bit of storyline that made me care about this a little bit. I'm not going to say I'm fully invested in it, but at least now I have a reason to watch it and see what Shotzi actually does. Ronda's going to win. There's no point in doing a deep dive into this match, but they at least got me in the building with what they did last night.
I'm not interested in the Shotzi part. The fact that they put Raquel on the shelf. The fact that they put Raquel on the shelf, that to me is like that's going to be the next person they're building up.
Damn.
No. Yeah. Alternate universe.
I think that's just going to be a sloppy match altogether.
Yeah.
This is where I'm normally worried about Shotzi doing something that's going to end her career because she just terrifies me every single time she gets in the ring. And with Ronda being out there, I'm even more nervous for it. So don't let her get on a middle turnbuckle. Hell, don't even let her get on the bottom turnbuckle. Like, just keep it on the match, please. But yeah,
Yeah, Ronda's gonna win.
Ronda.
She still does nothing for me, but she's gonna win.
Ronda does more for me than Shotzi does, though. Shotzi doesn't do anything for me. Like I haven't been hooked on Shotzi yet. That's even from NXT. So I'm gonna go with Ronda for the win here. I'm not expecting any change.
Bathroom break match.
First match. Still gathering my food.
All right. Not a title match, just a regular AJ Styles versus Finn Balor.
I mean, what's not to like about this match?
Yeah,
honestly?
right.
Bathroom break match.
Yeah. This is good in any promotion at any point in time in their career. Like honestly, doesn't matter. Like Finn wrestling AJ, I'm tuning in for it. So we saw them a couple years ago do this whenever I think it was AJ, wasn't he in South America or whatever, and flew
back because everybody was sick.
Wanted them to it. Yeah, they did it because of the plane issue getting out of Saudi Arabia. Like I think
it was everybody was sick. They had that thing.
Something happened. One of them had to come back.
COVID before COVID.
Yeah. I don't know really. I don't know who to pick in this match.
You have story for this one though.
You have story for it. With these two wrestling, no, I don't need story because it's Finn and AJ. But they've given you story with the club and Judgment Day. So there's both there for this match.
I was honestly expecting this match in a WarGames match. Just building up to it. But
and Dominic Mysterio beating up his dad on Thanksgiving.
That was good.
Ray's just randomly wearing his mask around the house. Like
he wore it.
It seemed like he was putting it on when he opened the door. He was putting it on.
But he's in the boot, so I know Chris loves that.
Because they had that giant picture that was bigger than him of him and his wife on their wedding day, and they kept blurring out his face from the picture.
We've seen Ray's face. Like, the dude had a 2-year run in WCW. Like, yes, it was babyface.
Ray, WWE, they try to remove that from WCW.
And what he took a
snap of
a pool stick onto an air cast, and that hurt him. Come on. Let's be realistic now. How about take the air cast off?
I'll go Finn. I'll go Finn.
I'm going Finn as well.
Keep the jobbers out and give me AJ.
Yes, please. Please do that.
No, give me a little Rhea. Just a little.
Who won that crown jewel? I forgot.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day won?
Mm-hmm.
Or Judgment Day.
Yeah, give me AJ for this one. I wouldn't be surprised if Judgment Day won here too, but with Finn winning, but I'll go with AJ.
And
rumor is that the Finn push will be coming soon since Triple H is at the helm. And Finn being his first big signing in NXT, their relationship, Finn's gone back to NXT to help them out. And that was probably Finn's best run, was his last run in NXT.
Yes.
So
very good down there in his title run.
So is his
we're going to get
US title?
What's that?
Is his big push the US title?
I don't know. He's not in that picture right now. So
I don't think he's sniffing Roman.
It'd be an interesting matchup for Roman just because it's somebody new.
Yeah.
You don't want the continuation of who cut the ropes?
No, I don't need that. I forgot all about that till you brought it up.
I don't even remember that. So
that tells you how much of a WWE person you are. You remember that.
I'm not even going to try to deep dive into the psyche on that to try to remember that. We're just going to move past that one. So speaking of the U.S. Championship, Seth Rollins versus Lashley versus Theory.
So Lashley, everybody's kind of saying he's turning heel, but everything that's come out is saying that he's still listed as a babyface within inside of the company.
He's still pushing for that Hurt Business reunion.
He's playing the line. I like that.
I think Seth retains. I think this is like go over, get over scenario where Rollins goes over, but Theory's elevated here and gets over. Um, New start for Theory. I don't expect them to win, but I expect them to be the standout of the match. And I think Bobby and Seth can be the one to help elevate them even more. So you got all three things in this. Triple threats are hard. Looking at styles, but you got power, you got speed, you got agility. Like you got everything you could want in this triple threat from a matchup standpoint. So we'll see how they put it together. But I fully expect Theory to come out looking like a star in this match.
Yeah.
A year later since his push.
Mm-hmm.
The Survivor Series last year was the golden egg.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in the match. Probably one of the matches I'm on the card that I'm most interested in. Seth's going to retain, but I like all three. I really like where this is all leading to.
I'm gonna go with Seth. Poor Ali could have been a fatal 4-way.
Hey, I saw people.
I like him
complaining about that.
I like him as the whipping post. Hey, build him up that way.
Yeah, people were going to town on them for that this week. Who'd he piss off to just be the crash test dummy? But
WWE's version of Dante Martin.
I don't want to see Seth get the title taken off him just yet, but I'd be okay if he would tonight. So I'll be the different one. I'm going to go Theory gets the title. All right. So that's it for regular matches. We got the WarGames left, so let's go into the women's WarGames match.
Obviously, the big thing last night was the announcement of the fifth member for Team Bianca, and it's the man herself, Big Time Bex. Becky Lynch comes back. Huge crowd pop. Fits right in the storyline because whenever she left with her injury, she was last seen brawling with Damage Control when they debuted at SummerSlam. So, perfect tie-in. I'm not disappointed. I'm glad they brought her back for this particular moment. That to me just automatically hammers home that the baby faces are going to win this match.
And they got the end starting without the disadvantage. So yeah, that was the perfect thing to be. They Monday was terrible, too much talking. Friday, brief, got your intro, get in, start brawling. Let's go to work. That was perfect.
Give me this is like the start to Rhea and Bianca.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that to me is night one WrestleMania.
Rhea wins the Rumble this year.
Yeah, let's start that. Let's start that here. That's the way early Rumble prediction for me from the women's side. I've been on that train. They gave the little backstage tease with both of them looking at each other. They finished 1-2 in the Rumble when Bianca won it. So you got it there. Let's go with it. Rhea's hotter than fish grease right now with everything she's done.
I think it was Rhea this week that said that she wants a feud with Bianca to be like The Rock, Stone Cold, like something that they can go back to and it stands the test of time.
They can do it.
Be that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The next Bailey Sasha.
Yeah, and they're friends too. So friends who go against each other.
I think we'll also see some shenanigans with Bray Wyatt involved in this match if we are going to start to get the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
Whether it's Alexa or Nikki. I wouldn't mind seeing Nikki.
I wouldn't mind Nikki.
Based on her unhinged sanity days.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if any of that plays out. But yeah, give me the tease to Rhea, Bianca, babyface is going over. Put Becky and Bailey back at it. Let them go at it.
Yeah.
So
my initial thought was Bliss turns heel on everybody and ruins everything. But I'm just go EST.
Yeah, I'm going Team EST also. I just want to see Rhea just trash everybody, just rip through everybody.
When does Damage Control win anything? So yeah, I'm going Team EST. What did you guys think last night? I brought this up with Donald earlier. What did you guys think of Becky's return last night? Was that you think that was because I'm indifferent on it? I'm not sure how I would have done it. Whether do you like it on Friday Night SmackDown? She returns the night before, or should they have saved it for tonight? Like, been a surprise at WarGames.
You can't
I'm
bring
glad
it
they
inside surprise late.
do it. I'm glad they did it last night because you got that. You're gonna get the pop either way, right?
Yeah. You shouldn't have
get the
given
pop
that
either
next
way.
Monday though. That was trash.
You're gonna get the pop either way. But nah, she comes out, you know, cuts right to the shit, rolls in the ring, let's go. Like, okay, now you got me anticipating the match more now.
Okay.
You know, something that needed that extra little spice to it to get me more invested.
So you like the anticipation going in?
I like the anticipation more going in because they gave me the surprise. I got the fifth member. It fits story wise. She rolled in the ring. Let's fucking go. We had a nice pull apart brawl, and now I'm ready to see them. You know, those 10 women in a cage. So I'm cool with it.
Give me the EOS trash can spot.
They did it yesterday, so they get the more money in the pocket, brother. We'll sell those unsold tickets.
It was on FS1, so you needed something.
Sure.
I saw that. Jason, you mentioned EO. I saw that she's the only woman to be in every female WarGames match. So they're giving her a little accolade there. So
yeah, but I mean, we're all Team EST for the sweep.
Yeah.
So damage control for the win. When we agree on something, it doesn't work out.
With Rhea
What's
looking
next?
great. That's it.
Yeah. All right. So we already started talking about the men's WarGame match.
Yeah. I mean,
before we go into
This
it,
could
isn't it
go-
so nice to only have a 5-match card instead of talking about 13 fucking matches?
it is. It is. This has every bit. You know, if you wouldn't have Ronda and Shotzi on here, this has the takeover, the old school takeover
Yes.
feels,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
5 matches. Every match is going to get 20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be a banger from start to finish. But that one match
Ronda
is kind
Shotzi
of,
doesn't need 25 minutes. But
well, no, that's what I said. If Ronda and Shotzi weren't on this card, it's a takeover feel.
You could have put
Yeah.
Ricochet and Legato on here.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta-
Give me Ricochet and Santos in the finals for the World Cup. I would have much rather seen that.
yeah.
And I leave the house for
Ronda
this.
and Shotzi.
You had that, I'd leave the house for this.
He said, "I'll leave the house."
I won't even be home, so let yourself in.
This match is so intriguing. I don't doubt the outcome. I think the Bloodline's going to win. So like I don't doubt the outcome. This match has me more interested in to see all the stories that are going to come out of it, because you can go so many different directions with this once this is over with to lead into Roman for Rumble. Multiple ways. I don't really need Drew, but KO, you know, he's been calling it. I'd like to see him get one more crack at Roman. Sheamus and Roman would be hard hitting. You know, we can go with that storyline there. And then you got all the intrigue with the Bloodline, Sammy, like we touched on before. Like, so I'm more interested in the storylines from it.
I'm definitely going Bloodline for the win, but I'm going Sammy to win it all for them.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy.
Yes.
Permanent oos.
Mm-hmm.
He finally earns his stripes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Bloodline. Who's taking the high spot?
Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
He's done it before.
Yeah.
I don't see Roman getting up there doing nothing stupid.
No. Mm-mm.
No,
But-
KO.
But you have 2 months from now to Rumble. You know, no pay-per-view in between. So it's like, I'm sure Roman's going to take some time off. So if Roman would get a spot done on him, like if Owens would drop onto Roman or something like that, you have time, because you know Roman's not going to be on TV the next 2 months each week. So I'm sure there'll be some time off, and something to play for that at least.
Give me some blood. Give me the good old Moxley.
What, the wise man gonna get bloodied up too?
So do we all have the bloodline? Another clean sweep?
Yeah.
I think so.
During the talking, though, I was thinking, what if, and I'm not saying this is a permanent switch, but what if temporarily Owens cost the Brawling Brutes the match to side with Sammy because they're friends and try to blow up the bloodline internally to get to Roman, to cause more friction between, Jimmy, or between Jay and Sammy.
That's not a bad
Yeah.
storyline to go with, but based off of everything they've done with Owens and Sammy's interactions, it's always been like
they're definitely
even
better
last-
on.
No, but I mean they've told the story even last night. KO was like, "Hey, what if this doesn't go well for you? You've seen what Roman's done to his own blood. What do you think he's going to do to you whenever shit hits the fan and it goes left?" Like, he's been telling Sammy that from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
And, I loved how he ended it, like, to get a better shirt. Like, and just walk off. Like, it's tremendous. Like, so I wouldn't, that would be an interesting story to go with, to have KO do that, but I
we
don't
would get
see
KO and Roman at Rumble, maybe, maybe that could be just something temporarily. Like, I wouldn't go long, but because Owens would be really good to just give that little, give that little dig to everybody in the back just to cause shit, like watch the world burn and just walk away, type shit.
I think there's too much history for them to even buy into the fact of
him and Roman
bringing KO into the fold, just with the series of matches that him and Roman had, and he's been calling Roman out. So, like, I don't
know if I would give him, like, not like him trying to be part of the bloodline, but just more of Sammy, him and Sammy hanging out.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good, but I think it's a little too much.
Yeah.
That was like when Owens like trying to join New Day,
Yeah.
At that time, just
we all knew that was stupid.
And a week later,
yeah.
But no, bloodline for the win here.
That's it. Those are the matches.
Match of the night. What do you got?
I'd like to go against AJ and Finn.
I like the triple threat for the U.S. title.
I'm gonna go women's WarGames.
Well, just to be different, I'll go men's WarGames since we all got something different on the table.
Nobody picked Shotzi.
You want to see a car crash?
Literally.
Yeah.
Real quick,
bring that tank out and crash it right to the ring.
I don't know if you got this queued up for a legit debate this segment, but
I didn't make a card because it was just more of a question, but
that's fine. So the Shield debuted at Survivor Series 10 years ago this week. I sent over the little thing to Chris. The Shield is the most successful faction in pro wrestling history.
No.
No, but I can see the argument for.
This is not the best faction in wrestling history.
No.
The most successful.
No.
You got the Brood and you got the Dudleys. Even though Grand Guerrero did nothing.
I say Evolution.
If you look at what they accomplished as a faction together, tag team title reigns, everything else, then you factor in all the championships they've won individually between the three of them and where they're all at now, arguably three of the top guys in wrestling, period. I don't really see another faction that's had more success for each and every single member than the Shield.
I would go with Donald. I think I would put Evolution over the Shield. How many titles they have between them,
Because even though Flair did it early and Triple H was present at the time, Batista and Orton came out.
You would put Batista over Seth? You put Batista over Moxley? Take your feelings from Moxley out.
Come on now.
Resume wise.
Over
Take your feelings out of it. Stack up the resumes. You put Batista's resume over Moxley's resume.
I would. In their prime. I'm looking at them.
And this is not just WWE resume. This is resume.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd put the Brood above them. Based off individual resume.
No, don't get me wrong. I would put Seth in.
I'm not putting Christian Cage over any member of the Shield, resume wise.
I'd put him over Moxley.
Resume wise?
Mm-hmm. And I'd put Edge over the rest, all three of them.
I'll put
Cage had what? He held world title, ECW. Did he have WWE?
ECW doesn't count. That was the reboot. That shit don't count.
Did he hold WWE or was it just world heavyweight that he held?
World heavyweight, just world.
And then he went to NWA. And then did he hold TNA too, or just NWA?
He was in Impact whenever Impact was Impact, not NWA.
No, he was NWA champion in TNA. He was there early on. But I don't remember if he was TNA Impact champion as well. I remember NWA run, but
I think Spike has more championships than John Moxley.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
If you add up, Moxley's held the WWE title twice. He's been three-time AEW World Champion. He's held the Intercontinental title. He's held the tag team titles. I don't think he's held the US. I don't think he's a Grand Slam.
I think Spike.
I think he actually held the US,
did,
not the IC.
Yeah. Yeah, he held the US. Yeah, no, he held the IC also.
Did he?
He held the US because he won it off of Kofi. He was the first one with the individual belt while the group.
I was going to say, I know he held the US during the Shield run. So.
He won the IC off of Miz, I think.
Okay.
And then New Japan. GCW for what it is. The GCW's been hot the last couple of years. Like,
I wouldn't count that as a world championship, but
so you'll count NWA for Christian whenever NWA wasn't shit, but you won't give the credit for GCW.
At least the NWA championship was actually aired on stuff like that was on Impact TNA, so like at least you could see that nationally. Can't see GCW unless you buy an independent pay-per-view.
So
just because you can buy an IPTV doesn't mean that it's a world title. Come on now.
Why not? So Ron the Truth Killing's first title didn't count whenever he won it because it was an IPP pay-per-view on the weekly TNA pay-per-views.
I'll count his.
But you won't count GCW's.
No.
That's being a hypocrite to the fullest.
Okay,
you're going against your argument right there.
So would that GCW title count just as much as the ECW title that Christian won? I mean, even though that one was a reboot.
No.
I see them both the same as me on my level.
Seth has how many world title reigns? 3,
5,
4.
I forgot about the second run, Ty. I wasn't thinking of that.
He's been IC title champ. He's been tag team champ. He's been US champ. And Roman is on the best run of any WWE champ in recent memory.
Are we counting Rumbles and Money in the Banks?
You can throw that into it too. Resume wise, yeah.
Again, I can see the argument for the Shield, but in my list, no, they're not the best.
I wouldn't even think about Evolution.
Yeah, I was thinking of Evolution. Because for me in Evolution, I put Batista over Moxley. I put Seth over Batista. I put Orton over Seth and Roman. And that's just two members from and that's just two members of Evolution. I'm not even going with Triple H or
you ain't even get to that 16 time. 16.
All right. And lastly, to wrap up this Survivor Series bow, can we get back to traditional Survivor Series pay-per-views with, teams of 5 strive to stay alive or teams of 4? Because I watched WrestleMania or Survivor Series 1 and Survivor Series 3 the other night.
Good question, Tom.
Yeah. But those original Survivor Series with the team names and it's just such great.
The promos.
Yeah, the promos before each match. I was watching that Survivor Series 3 and it was the 4x4s. It was Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Ronnie Garvin, Bret Hart, and Hercules, and they all got 2x4s, and they're all like, it was so just classic cheesy wrestling, but it was tremendous.
You could have done that with the club and Judgment Day. Just done a Survivor Series match.
True. Well, for me, I've always hated Survivor Series. I always thought it was the worst one. This gives me interest.
Yeah, if this works tonight, Triple H, I think, is going full steam ahead with the WarGames.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need it every year.
I don't know. NXT ran it 3 years in a row, and I liked it every single time.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, they're going to go balls to the wall, though.
Yeah.
NXT guys.
So would you take the traditional Survivor Series or bragging rights? Like, champ versus champ, all that stuff from the different brands. Just out of those two.
You mean so the SmackDown versus Raw or WarGames?
Yeah. SmackDown versus Raw or the traditional Survivor Series, like back in the day. Which you like better?
Oh, I like the traditional Survivor Series versus Raw versus SmackDown.
I'll go Survivor Series.
I can't say WarGames now because it didn't happen yet.
No.
Although we were robbed by like a month or two of getting Lashley versus Gunther, which I was clamoring for with big meaty men slapping meat. Pause. But yeah, I go traditional Survivor Series versus the brands.
Could even go like one if you're kind of combined, like the Raw versus SmackDown and the Survivor Series, where you have the champs versus the champs. Raw champs versus SmackDown champs have like an all-in-one Clash of the Champions.
That's too many belts on the screen at one time.
You're in a Clash of
become universal. Universal everything.
Yeah, it is.
Is Roman going to come out like Ultimo Dragon and WCW?
Not all the titles on the line. Champions versus champions.
You get the pin, you win everything.
That's too much gold in one match.
Just for bragging rights only, not the belts.
All right. Hit us up on social media at Dunmarks Pod. Let us know. Give us your predictions, match of the night, and whether or not you're tuning in to Survivor Series. With that being said, let's hop over to Drink It a Week. What's up?
Real quick. Did anybody watch NXT?
Yes. Yes.
The debuts?
Who debuted?
Scripps and Dijakovic.
I missed Dijakovic's debut, but I did see.
Well, it's not it's Dijak.
Dijak.
That's Dijakovic.
Dijak now. Scripps, Reggie.
Yeah, he has some terrible Steven Seagal beard. Get him off my screen.
Had that fake tan.
And missed his kick.
I will like the blade. I will say NXT for me this week, it was a breath of fresh air because it was dominated by the women. Literally, the entire show minus the main event was all women matches.
And the main event was great.
Yeah, Lee and Mello, like I'm tired of seeing Mello, but those two like
put on a show.
So
I'm not putting it up, but read Ty's comment.
Oh, they went hard on Twitter.
Yeah, Reggie got
gotta
killed.
send y'all to TikTok.
Like they gave him the most, like they gave him like the 1980s Halloween costume mask. Like you couldn't come up with something better than that. Like
his mask was good, but his gear was
it was terrible. got build a character on Mortal Kombat with no money build up. Just out there.
They've been building this character up for how many weeks now? Like
he's on an orange belt. He's on an orange belt with one stripe out there trying to act like he's
Glacier.
Yeah. But no, the women dominating the show was amazing Wednesday or Tuesday night. Like they all did well. Matches were good. Storylines progressed. It was a breath of fresh air to see a wrestling program put on that way, because you look at the other main companies like Dynamite or main roster, like there's no reason why you can't have those types of shows sprinkled in on a weekly basis.
That's true. Gotta go back and watch it.
If NXT can do it with their roster that they have women's wise and put it out there, not everything was a 5-star match, but like it was solid start to finish.
And this isn't the first time they've done it.
Yeah, like there's no reason why anybody else can't do it. So City looking like Max Moon's little brother, Max Eclipse.
Yeah.
It's tremendous. That's tremendous. All right, with that being said, let's drink a beer.
Chug, 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 chug.
All right, this week's drink of the week. It's our first official Christmas beer of the season. We did Fatheads Brewery Pimp My Sleigh. It's a Belgian style Christmas ale. I picked this solely up for the name Pimp My Sleigh. Don't know how it's going to taste. I like Fathead stuff. Their Holly Jolly's good. It says it's handcrafted, unfiltered, pour slowly. So I don't know if you get a different taste of it drinking it, from a glass than a can. But yeah, we'll give this here a shot. See what we get.
I like the smell.
10.5% alcohol by volume.
Oh, wow. Did not see that.
Yeah, so you're gonna be pimping sleighs in this. Okay, I gotta go do Christmas lights after this. I may be in my sleigh.
You got the heavy hitter today.
Did you just chug that 10.5% alcohol?
No, I just put a little bit in the thing, but I will because it's trash.
Man, this is a punch to the heart.
All right, so first thing right off the bat, if you don't like Belgian beers, you're not gonna like this. Right? Belgian beers for me are hit or miss. There's some that I like that are really good, and there's others that are just completely terrible. This is that you're definitely gonna get hit with this. This is gonna put you right to sleep, Donald. You got 5 hours of sleep the last 2 days. This is gonna knock you right out.
Man. I feel it in my blood.
You come in from shoveling snow and you pick this up, it'll warm you back up. Got no hard liquor. Like, I enjoy this for what it is, actually.
The smell is all Belgian, but the taste isn't. Like I think that burn helps out with us to kind of calm down that Belgian taste, because I hate Belgian.
Yeah, it's smooth. I'll give it a solid 3.5. Like, if you want to start some fights at the family Christmas party, drink like 3 of these.
I'll do it.
That'll do it for sure.
I like Belgians, but not like this. Whew. This is too strong for me. I give it like a 1.5.
1.
So Donald, if this was like a 7 or a 7.5 instead of a 10.5 alcohol by volume, would you think you'd like it more?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Too much burn for you? Or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, I feel it in my blood.
For me, the burn helps. But
Jay, I knew you weren't gonna like this.
There was a taste in there I liked. I don't know what the taste was.
Like
it tasted like berries to me somewhere.
Yeah, something in there in the foam, or I don't know what it was. I like that.
They throw a little bumbleberry in there for you, Dom.
I'll throw bumbleberry in it. It might be a different score altogether.
I mean, from a holiday lineup, Fatheads, like if you with this, they're Holly Jolly, and then the what's the other one? The Christmas monkey or golden monkey, something like that. But that like they got a good holiday lineup. So if you see it out and about, pick it up, hit us up, let us know what you think of Fathead's Pimp My Sleigh.
Anything else?
Nope. All right, this week in sports, obviously, it's rivalry week. Started off last night, watched the Florida State-Florida game. Tremendous back-and-forth contest. My Noles came out on top.
Congratulations.
Mark Malloy, if you're listening, suck it. Okay, suck it. 45-38, big win there. Today, obviously, huge matchup. Number 2 versus number 3, Michigan, Ohio State. Ohio State's up 7-0 right now.
Already.
It's still in the first quarter. You got USC, Notre Dame later on. What else is there? Washington State,
South Carolina,
all your
Clemson.
South Carolina, Clemson. So yeah, this is showdown weekend. Need some teams to win to get in, or at least solidify their spot in the playoff. The Michigan Ohio State game for me is pretty much an elimination game, especially if Michigan loses. Ohio State might have a better shot to get in if they lose. USC got to beat Notre Dame tonight, and then win the Pac-12. So yeah, we'll see there. But great matchups across the board today. You know, as this college football season comes to an end, it's crazy. It's
already.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it just started.
Pitt Miami play tonight. Pitt has a chance to get to 9-4, which a little bit of a disappointing season, but that 9th win will help elevate them, get a better bowl game, and finish the year 10-4. So yeah, football all around. I'll be watching on and off throughout the day today. Dave, got to get your boys to show up. We need the Wolverines to win. I hate Ohio State. So
yeah, since it's our rivalry week, who was your greatest rival in sports whenever you played?
Like personally?
Yeah, team, personal, just anything.
You?
Oh, there was a lot.
Said moi? You? What, our college football days?
Huh? Little League.
Little League.
Yeah, there was
Little League. There was a lot.
I think, but baseball wise, growing up, not so much Little League, but like Pony League, there was Fireman versus Perone for me. We had Swissvale versus Chalfont.
That was always a big one. I used to go to those games. I didn't even play in the league. Used to go.
Yeah, those were must see games. Like we had the field packed for baseball games back in the day. School wise, obviously, I think Penn Hills or Central Catholic would kind of be the two top tier rivals there. I don't really know if I had like a personal rivalry playing in sports or growing up that I like.
I know in like midget football, it was like Jeanette for us. Jeanette Penn Trafford. It was like the midget football, yeah.
McKee Sport was a big one.
I'd say Chartiers or the boys who played under the bridge.
Oh, Bloomfield,
yeah.
Bloomfield. Oh.
That was a team we played. It was Bloomfield.
Yeah, it was Bloomfield.
Yeah, them were Chartiers.
Yeah, especially the Chartiers team. Yeah.
Baseball was Ingomar, black or gold. Those rich uppity
for the All-Star games.
Yeah, the All-Star games. They come down with their personal engraved baseball bags and everything else. And you uppity jagoffs. Like I hated playing them dudes. Soccer would be Dynamo. Those again were another richity up. Couldn't stand them. They'd all have their all-star uniforms. We'd show up in all different colors because we'd all wear our
we all wear regular seats and stuff.
This
is the all-star team here. You can see.
Yeah. But yeah, that was
It's an interesting question.
Yeah. I mean, rivalries, especially in college football, with more of the alignment going away with these super conferences forming, and not only that, but with the 12-team playoff coming into play, is Michigan, Ohio State going to have the same cachet whenever there's a 12-team playoff? No,
Just
because
both could be in.
Both are going to be in regardless. It's just where you end up seeding, right? Notre Dame, USC. Don't know if they'll continue that once USC joins the Big Ten. You got SEC matchup wise. I hate the fact that Pitt in West Virginia, Pitt, Penn State don't play every year.
Yeah,
those are
that should be every year.
Yeah,
every year. That's one thing I will say Florida got right in that they mandated Florida State play every year. So that's no matter what, they're playing every year. But yeah, we'll see. And then, 2 weeks away is my favorite rivalry game is Army Navy. My dad was in the Navy. That was the one game that I remember growing up, sitting down and watching with him on a regular basis every year was Army Navy. And to go to that game is on my bucket list. For me as a fan, but just because we never got the chance to go together. So that's something that I'd like to check off here at some point in time. And Navy debuted their NASA uniforms. Oh, those are ridiculous. Yeah, those are sick. If you haven't seen them, go check them out online. The helmets are insane. Insane. They're all white. They're super dope. But yeah, that's my favorite number one rivalry game is Army Navy.
Nice.
Go ahead. You got
let's stick with college football. The Michigan State football players who were in the brawl against Michigan, they were all charged this week.
Yeah, seven players total, I think it was, charged with assault.
Assault and battery, aggravated assault, and something else. But yeah.
I don't do nothing wrong, man. Defended their locker, that's it.
They jumped the dude.
So making dude's head off the door was okay?
Hey, he didn't. You didn't need to be down there. You came in there fucking with people. Fucked around and found out.
You can't do that in 2022 with cameras all around. You know what I mean?
That was my thing. Why don't people recording that, bringing it up?
Especially with your name on the back of the jersey.
Name on the back of the jersey, number, everything.
Oh, we got Wisniewski there, Smith, Paul Wall Jr.
They made it easy for the cops, boy. They just had to look at the roster right online.
Yeah. Roll call. Give me 27, 34, 99, 1. Yeah.
Come down to the office.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what comes of that. I mean, he should have never been there in the first place. It should have been a situation that should have been avoided. But
of course,
again, at the same time, you can't let something of that severity slide either.
Yeah.
So whether or not any of them will face actual jail time, I don't know. But there needs to be some type of
it'll be plea deals
there.
It'll be community service and tickets for the judge to every game or something. That's how the system works.
And then speaking of a rivalry that's been around since 1776, USA versus England yesterday played in the World Cup. 0-0 draw, so 0-0 for those of you that don't watch soccer. Great showing by the Team USA. They should have won both games. They should have beaten Wales. They let up the probably the worst penalty kick that I've seen so far in this World Cup. Just a terrible foul there inside the box. But you're in a situation, you win and you're in. You win in advance. So they got to win. They got to beat Iran. And they're in the knockout stage. I've enjoyed this World Cup. I've been watching it as much as possible. Huge soccer geek. But Team USA, they're the third youngest team in the World Cup. They're showing up. They're showing out. And I think 2026, is going to be a huge push for them, especially because it's here in the States. So I'm hoping they get to a game in Philadelphia. I've already started saving my money for that when that comes 4 years down the pipe. So
yeah, the upsets have been unreal so far. World Cup, Saudi Arabia beating Argentina was the first to do it. They said that's like a comparison of like Coastal Carolina beating Georgia.
Yeah, probably the biggest upset in World Cup history. When you look at the sides and where they're ranked worldwide. So yeah, we'll see.
And they said Japan beat Germany, and they said that was the power of the anime.
But the tournament's been good. All the games have been good. They've been exciting. Good matchups. So we're coming up on the end of group play, and then we'll get into the knockout stages and go from there. So hopefully the U.S. beats Iran and gets in, and then we see what they do from there.
Beat them, but didn't beat them enough.
All right. Anything else in sports?
Okay.
All right, let's hop over to One Gotta Go.
Jason, you got a lot of votes last week. A lot of people chimed in for this one. On mine, it was pretty split between Briefs and Commando, but like Donald's and Steve, your sister, did a poll. Everyone else was Briefs gotta go. And that was unanimous this week too. It was Briefs gotta go. And
the women voted on mine. They said all Briefs.
Auburn.
Yeah, them tighty whities.
I had a few women say Commando, but
it was like the one. One of my friends messaged me with like, "Yeah, if a guy have briefs on, like, I'm done. I'm dried up."
Look, I got a Superman pair.
Dog, you're too old to have.
I have a Superman pair just because there's a Superman pair, and one day I ran out of clean underwear, so I actually had to break those out the case.
The case.
You keep them. I keep them up with the collectible. I had to break them out. That was the weirdest feeling.
Straws up with their collectibles.
It's Superman. I got Superman shit. Really, all with Superman stuff. So
see, that's the day you should have just gone Commando.
Hold on, Kurt. We got a question here. Do you think we get a return tonight at Survivor Series? No, I think your return was last night with Becky. I don't think anybody else is coming in.
Who do you think is going to return tonight, Johnny?
Yeah, I don't know. I see Becky being the return there.
Plus, there's no. I mean, how you gonna get in the WarGames match? That's the only one, unless somebody comes out and attack Ronda.
Kane broke up in the Hell in a Cell on the first night.
If that's the case, you get Charlotte, but I don't see it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't see Charlotte.
It seems like they're building Ronda and Shayna, so it's like I don't want to see anybody else stepping into there. So
no.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I doubt it, but we'll see. All right, so about one got to go. The briefs. Go ahead, pull it up.
All right. Go ahead, Steve.
All right. So this week, obviously, with the passing of Jason David Frank, we'll go Power Rangers here. Which one got to go? Green Ranger, Black Ranger, Red Ranger, or Pink Ranger?
Jason's like, I want to kick him off, but I can't.
Oh, he's getting kicked off, but y'all trying to set me up.
What? Where's the setup? That's a legit question.
Y'all know I hate the Green Ranger. He gets a pass. He gets a pass this week, but I hate the Green Ranger. He's getting kicked off the list, but he gets a slander pass this week. I'm not going to talk shit. Green Ranger got to go.
The Green Ranger got to go.
Green Ranger.
That is simple for me. Simple for me. Black Ranger got to go.
Nah, man.
It was right in with Ty's comment.
Yeah,
you can't get off the pop lock.
The Black Ranger got to go. It was like, nah. everybody else put something towards the team.
Black Ranger he didn't
No,
bring nothing to the table.
no, he just Macedon. That's it. Pink Ranger was cute. Red Ranger was the leader. Green Ranger was everybody's all-time favorite. Not my favorite, but everybody's all-time favorite.
And why they give the Black Ranger the most black sounding dinosaur too? Like
hit you with the Macedon.
Oh, Ty.
We're not putting that comment.
No, yeah. I mean, Kim, Pink Ranger, childhood crush. Then Tommy was all-time favorite Ranger. Met him a couple years ago. Got shit on by Donald Jason whenever I met him. Got that autograph. Jason was probably second favorite. So out of this list, Black Ranger got to go. He just wasn't up there with the other ones.
That sounds.
Yeah, this is very simple choice for me. Okay, what has been the downfall of man since the beginning of time?
Green,
Women,
money.
Women. The Pink Ranger got to go.
What?
Okay? All she did was come between Tommy and Jason.
Wow.
It was Tommy
her.
and Jason. If you take her out the equation, we have a better functioning group. We're not dealing over who's trying to get in whose pants. Not doing it. She played both men multiple times throughout the course of the show. No. Her drama-filled ass gotta go. Get the Pink Ranger up out of here. Okay? I don't care if she was your little cute crush. No.
I don't even remember her being with Jason.
Me either. I don't remember that at all.
Gotta go. Just like, you had Kelly and Brenda and Dylan. No, same situation. No, let's get her up out of here.
Drama. That was drama, dude.
Okay? Gotta go.
You could have put every Ranger on this list. I'd still have picked Green Ranger.
Oh,
Kenny, is that true?
No, if you would have put all of them up there, Billy could have gone. Yeah.
No.
Kenny's comment.
He was the brains.
Was he bad or was he the other one? Because I know the other Red Ranger was charged for murder.
I think the initial one's a dick.
Okay.
hey.
And Steve, you can just read the other comment.
he's a decoy. Like, look over here, bitches.
The decoy.
Hey, not in the kitchen, but I'm saying you can't be out there pulling on heartstrings. We got to go into battle, and we got some supernatural beings coming here, and we're over here arguing who's taking you out on a date. Okay, like you can get up out of here.
Get out of here, man.
The Yellow Ranger wasn't causing no problems, right?
Trini was my favorite.
She bought all in. No, not Kimberly's ass. She wanted to go out there, woo-hoo, shake it, bake it, get Tommy playing his flute and Jason swinging his sword around, trying to show who's going to take her out. Get her out of here. Go on. See you bye.
I do not even remember Jason going after Kimberly.
And she had the little, the different costume on. She had like the little skirt thing, with the pant legs. So she was different altogether.
No.
We need Joe Johnson.
I don't agree.
Still follow her on social media.
Buy the Pink Ranger shirt next week.
You can come in a Pink Ranger outfit, and I'm gonna vote you off the show.
Ty can come in and dance for my spot.
Hit us up on social media. Let us know which Ranger got to go.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning to episode 113. We are getting towards the end of the Pro Wrestling Tees Black Friday sale. It ends this Monday, November 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern. So head over to prowrestlingtees.com/dumbmarkspod to get all your merch for the holiday season for your favorite Dumbmark. Head over to dumbmarkspod.com for all the links and more, for all our social media links. Follow us, subscribe, all that fun stuff so you get notifications when we go live each week. What else do we have for final thoughts today?
Steve, I did look at those Navy helmets. Those are sick.
Yeah, they're super dope. I can't wait to see what Army comes out with their uniforms. They have it. I'm sure they'll do their reveal this week. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. So, final thoughts, real quick. Survivor Series, little tie-in. Triple H pitched a Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT WarGames match for Survivor Series back in 2019 and was turned down. Thoughts on that match? Would you have wanted to see that play out in 2019?
Have they ever done a 3-way WarGames match?
Chaos in a match.
Yeah.
So how many would you go per team? Because that's a lot of people.
If you're doing 3, I would have kept it to 4. So instead of 10, you have 12.
Yeah,
15 is way too many. 15,
Yeah.
That's a
12. We could work around 12 because it's only 2 more bodies.
risk.
And three don't feel like enough.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see how that would have worked out.
It would have been interesting, but Vince had that call back then. So
Was that the year that they did NXT in there, or was that?
I thought
Was that a separate
2018 was the year they did NXT.
So he wanted to continue it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which we thought we were going to get at the time. We thought it would morph into NXT being a part of Survivor Series every year. That was the big Keith Lee moment.
And
right?
with the talent they had, it was doable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, they did.
So,
Yeah, that roster there was legit.
this is not a spoiler alert, but I know my week for one gotta go was used up this week. However, I have another one that I want to slip in before the holidays. So we haven't decided if we're going to do a Christmas Eve show yet. I don't know, but we may film this separately and do a separate one gotta go by ourselves just to get this out there for Christmas songs that I saw this week that will generate some buzz for sure.
Ooh, some heat.
Little tease there. There is some heat.
You saw Mariah on the Thanksgiving Day parade, and you were like, "Ooh."
So just keep that there. And then one thing that I want to bring up for all you parents out there, for your kids, I know we got Elf on a Shelf, we got Snoop on a Stoop, right? You want to keep your kids in check this Christmas season. Make sure they stay on the right path and don't end up on a naughty list. The Grinch's phone number. It's a legit number you can call for the Grinch. Kids can listen. Okay. I used to love these types of numbers whenever my kids were little. Like, it was fantastic, right? So the Grinch's phone number is 202-225-4965. 202-225-4965. Your little Billy or Susie's acting up, dial the Grinch.
You getting paid for
On the
this?
phone, let them get them talking to. This ain't no 99 cents by the minute like you're used to paying, Chris. Okay, it's none of that. Right?
Best ones to call, man.
My mother had belt on the waist.
I know.
Yeah, belt on the waist.
Let's hope that's the
Belt on the
Grinch
waist.
and nothing else.
Pick up the phone.
Hey there, big boy.
I saw this week. Apparently, there's Clark Griswold from Christmas Vacation. Clark on the Bark. That's a thing this year. Yeah.
Man, no, they get ridiculous with it.
They got
Everybody's got to have a gimmick now.
Like everybody, yeah.
Trying to think if there was any
The Matt Hardy of Christmas stuff.
Real quick, shout out to Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield for pairing up and coming together for their CBD gummy edibles that are in the shape of an ear. So
y'all want to get
Holyfield and
I
Tyson,
didn't say they were in the shape of an ear, though.
yeah, it's in the shape of an ear.
You just got to run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just run with it.
We'll have this
commercials.
now after we get off. We'll get into business too. Let's have an
The
edible.
commercial's great.
Ric Flair's just got bought. Someone bought him out. So he's making money.
He ain't selling Woo Wings no more.
Still doing
No, he's
wings.
selling Woo Wings, but
He's in
also
everything.
He's in everything. He
He's in
is.
everything.
There was somebody
Entrepreneur.
he was with for the week, and yeah, they got bought. Apparently, they were making money.
Yeah. So, with that being said, quote of the week here: "Rock bottom will teach you lessons the mountaintops never can."
My mother put me in one once.
Rock bottom will teach you lessons the mountaintops never can. With that, hey, enjoy your holiday season. Kicked it off with Thanksgiving, riding and straight through Christmas and the New Year. Continue to rock with us. We appreciate you. Find us everywhere on social media, all social media platforms. And until next time, I'm a Mark, you're a Mark, tell a Mark. Y'all can catch us around the way.